In a fiery speech, Phillips didn't hold back when launching a full-scale verbal attack on London Mayor Sadiq Khan. Her words were more than political disagreement, they were personal, biting, and deeply confrontational. Referring to Khan's recent statement that Brexit was a mistake, Phillips outright dismissed his authority to even participate in the national conversation. With scathing precision, she asked, "What right do you have to say that?" A rhetorical strike that questioned not just his opinion, but his legitimacy to speak on major democratic decisions made by the British public. By branding Khan as a petty anti-democrat, Phillips went beyond standard political critique. The term anti-democrat is a severe accusation, suggesting his views or actions undermine the democratic will of the people. The use of petty wasn't just an insult about stature, but a calculated jab meant to diminish his influence and portray him as weak, irrelevant, and unfit for leadership. Her language continued to escalate. When she told him to go back to your little ridiculous woke building, she wasn't just mocking his office, she was mocking his entire political ideology. The term woke, often used pejoratively, implied that Khan is more concerned with virtue signaling than with real-world leadership, and describing City Hall as a little building wasn't about architecture, it was about portraying Khan's role as trivial and out of touch with the country's pressing concerns. Phillips' comments were rooted not only in disagreement with Khan's stance on Brexit, but in outright rejection of his leadership style and political approach. Her goal was clear: to strip away the mayor's credibility and portray him as a lightweight, a figure more interested in media headlines than meaningful governance. But Phillips wasn't alone in her criticism. Minister for Crime Chris Philp also took aim at Sadiq Khan, this time over law and order. In stark terms, Philp accused the mayor of failing one of the most basic responsibilities of any public official: keeping people safe. The overall crime clear-up rate in London is just 4%, he said. That means 96% of crimes are going unsolved. It's a damning statistic, and one that Philp didn't hesitate to weaponize. He argued that under Khan's watch, the Metropolitan Police has become the worst-performing force in England and Wales. Philp's message was pointed and brutal. The mayor has failed, not just politically, but administratively, morally, and practically. He painted Khan as indifferent to the rise in thefts and rising public anxiety. He called out what he saw as Khan's neglect of core responsibilities, especially at a time when people are increasingly afraid for their safety on London's streets. The people of London deserve better, Philp declared, adding that Khan's leadership hasn't just disappointed, it's betrayed the expectations of those who once trusted him. And at an event specifically focused on London's theft epidemic, Philp reinforced the idea that the city's top official has failed to act decisively or effectively. His words painted a picture of a mayor who is disengaged, dismissive, and unwilling to confront the real issues affecting everyday citizens. Between Phillips' fiery rhetoric and Chris Philp's damning statistics, a clear narrative is emerging. Sadiq Khan is being portrayed as a leader who is out of touch, ineffective, and increasingly distrusted. And the criticism doesn't stop there. Labour Minister Jonathan Reynolds recently found himself in hot water after being asked a chilling question on live TV: should the British public be worried about the possibility of a third world war? His response: vague, non-committal, and oddly evasive. Rather than offering a clear reassurance, Reynolds waffled with general statements about contingency planning and ongoing security operations. He spoke about the government's efforts to extract British nationals from regions like Israel and the Palestinian territories, and vaguely referenced concerns about Iran's nuclear ambitions, but he stopped short of offering any clarity or comfort. When pressed about reassessing the UK's threat level, his answer remained frustratingly ambiguous. Viewers were left with more questions than answers, and a growing sense of unease. The lack of clear leadership in moments of potential crisis only adds to public frustration. Whether it's the Mayor of London struggling to address rising crime or a senior Labour official dodging questions about global conflict, the British public is being left in the dark again. What do you think? Has Sadiq Khan lost the trust of Londoners? Are you reassured by Labour's response to international threats, or are we witnessing a broader collapse of political accountability? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more uncensored breakdowns of the news that matters most.